Toyota recalled 232,000 engines in 60 days. GM has 600,000 trucks off the road. Hyundai paid over $1 billion in settlements. Ford got hit with class action lawsuits, four of the biggest names in the business imploding at the same time. That is the turbo disaster that replaced the bulletproof engines we lost. Today, 5 engines to avoid in 2026, 2 that actually held up, and why your father's truck outlasted yours. The bulletproof era. Before we get into the list, let us go back 30 years, because if you do not understand what we lost, none of the rest of this is going to make sense. 1995. The typical pickup had a big naturally aspirated V8 under the hood. 210 horsepower. Thick walls, heavy pistons, big bearings. Over-engineered on purpose. You could skip an oil change. You could tow a boat in 95-degree heat all weekend. That engine did not care. The factory rated it at 200 horsepower. The engine itself was strong enough to handle 400. That extra cushion is the entire reason those trucks are still on the road today with 300,000 miles on them and the original water pump. That was the bulletproof era. The Chevy 350 small block. The Ford 4.6 modular. The Toyota 2UZ. These engines were engineered to outlast the body of the truck. And they did. Here's the part nobody at the dealership wants to admit out loud. Those engines did not disappear because something better came along. They disappeared because something cheaper came along. The engineers who designed them are still inside those buildings. They were just told to stop. The turbo disaster. So how did we get from those bulletproof engines to the turbo disaster sitting in your driveway today? It comes down to one thing. Federal CAFE fuel economy mandates. Here is the math. CAFE penalties run $17 per vehicle for every tenth of a mile per gallon short. A manufacturer selling 2 million vehicles that misses by 1 mile per gallon is staring down over $300 million in fines. For 1 mile per gallon. So what do? They squeeze every fraction of a mile out of every engine. Tiny turbos instead of naturally aspirated. Ultra-thin oil. Direct injection. All engineered to pass a test, not to last. The Ford F-150 used to come with a V8 that ran forever. Now you get the EcoBoost. The Silverado replaced a 5.3-liter V8 that families drove 300,000 miles with a turbocharged 4-cylinder. Folks, I call this a compliance engine. Its entire reason for existing is to hit a number on a government test, not to survive 200,000 miles, not to outlast your loan payment. The manufacturers ran the math. They decided your engine lifespan was an acceptable cost of doing business. You are paying that bill right now. Let me show you how they pulled it off. The forgiveness gap. Imagine 2 guys carrying boxes. One is 250 pounds of muscle. The other is a skinny 140-pound kid. Load both with the same weight. The big guy walks all day. The kid grinds through every joint and burns out twice as fast. That is your modern engine. Cylinder pressures over 2,000 pounds per square inch. Race engine territory. The kind of pressure that used to only exist inside a NASCAR motor torn down after every race. Your truck is sitting in a Target parking lot while your wife shops. The clearance between the crankshaft and bearings is measured in microns. A human hair is 70 microns thick. The gap is smaller than that. Zero margin for error. Here is what should make you angry. The bulletproof engines had a soft lead layer on every bearing, like the cushioned floor under a gym. Land on it hard 1,000 times, walk away. Debris in the oil embedded harmless. Oil pressure dropped a split second. The lead absorbed it. Then regulations forced manufacturers to take the lead out, replaced with hard aluminum. Imagine ripping that gym floor up and pouring concrete in its place. Every landing is a fracture risk. That is the forgiveness gap. The old engines had it, the new ones do not. Number 5. GM 2.7-liter Turbomax. The engine GM put in the Silverado and Sierra to replace the proven 5.3-liter V8 that families drove past 250,000 miles without opening the hood. NHTSA data documents excessive oil consumption. 1 quart gone every 1,000 miles. That is your turbo running low on the only thing it cannot afford to lose. Modern turbos run 0W20 oil so thin it is almost like water. Your bearings have less than 1 human hair of clearance protected by a film thinner than pancake syrup. Lose any of it and metal grinds on metal. Consumer Reports flags this engine below average reliability. There is not enough long-term data to know how it actually holds up. When you cannot get reliability data, that itself is a red flag. If you own one, get a fixed scanner. Plugs into your OBD2 port. Reads codes before the dash light comes on. Link in the description. With a compliance engine, you do not get warning signs. You get a tow truck. $20 scanner versus $15,000 engine replacement is not a close call. If you are shopping a Silverado or Sierra, get the proven V8 while you still can. Number 4. The Hyundai and Kia 2.0-liter Theta 2 Turbo. In the Sonata, Optima, Sportage, and a long list of cousins from 2011 through 2019, NHTSA recalls for connecting rod-bearing failures and excessive oil consumption leading to full engine seizure. The compliance engine runs out of oil and the bearings just come apart inside the block. Then it got worse. Class action lawsuits were filed. In the worst cases, this failure led to a fire risk. Oil gets into the combustion chamber, builds up on the exhaust, and catches fire. That is what is in the federal complaints. Hyundai and Kia paid over $1 billion in settlements. They handed people replacement engines. The replacements failed the same way, like fixing a leaky boat with cardboard. Hand it back. Wish them luck. Shopping for a used Hyundai or Kia from this era? Run the VIN through the NHTSA recall database before you hand anyone $1. Link in the description. If the recall has not been performed, walk away. If you already own one, check your oil every 2 weeks. A compliance engine burning a quart between changes will be empty before the dash light comes on, and the damage is already done. Number 3. The Volkswagen and Audi EA888 2.0-liter Turbo. Inside almost every Volkswagen and Audi sold in this country. Documented problems, timing chain failures, fuel pump failures, and severe carbon buildup. Some owners need a full intake valve cleaning, what shops call a walnut blast, as early as 60,000 miles. Why? Direct injection sprays fuel straight into the cylinder and bypasses the intake valves. Think of it like cholesterol clogging an artery. The engine still runs. Airflow is slowly choking down. And one day, your engine has a heart attack. $1,000 at the dealer to clean the valves. A class action was filed over the timing chain. Consumer Reports rates Volkswagen powertrain reliability at 2 out of 5 stars, not 2 out of 10. One of the worst scores in the industry. One thing that helps. Chevron Techron run through your fuel system every 5,000 miles. On a direct injection compliance engine, it cleans the fuel side and slows the buildup. $12 a bottle. Cheap insurance. If one of these was properly maintained, it can hold up. The moment there is a gap in service history, you are buying somebody else's problem. Number 2. The Ford 1.5-liter EcoBoost, sitting in the Ford Escape, Ford Fusion, and Ford Bronco Sport. This engine has a documented defect where coolant gets into the cylinders. The engine hydrolocks. The piston tries to compress liquid which cannot be compressed and the engine stalls, sometimes at highway speed, with your family in the car. In the worst cases, this created a fire risk severe enough that Ford got hit with multiple class action lawsuits. The 2015 through 2018 model years are most affected. NHTSA has thousands of complaints on file. Ford engineered this engine as small and light as possible to hit a fuel economy target, then bolted a turbo on to make up for the lost power. That is the compliance engine in its purest form. They built a defect into the cooling system to hit a government number. If somebody is selling you a used Escape, Fusion, or Bronco Sport from this era, run the VIN, verify the recall is done. If you find the same body style with a naturally aspirated engine, take it. You will gain an engine that does not try to drink its own coolant. 3 engines down, 1 to go, and number 1 will make you question everything you know about reliability. And the number 1 compliance engine to avoid in 2026 is Toyota, the 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 in the Tundra and the Lexus LX. I know what you are thinking. This is Toyota, the brand your father told you to buy. I am not telling you Toyota is unreliable. I am telling you about this one engine. What happened here is exactly what we have been talking about. Toyota took the bulletproof 5.7-liter V8 out of the Tundra, the engine that built its reputation, replaced with a turbo V6. November of 2024, Toyota recalled 105,000 vehicles for low oil pressure. 1 month later, a second recall covering 127,000 Tundras and Lexus LXS for crankshaft bearing failure. 232,000 vehicles in 60 days. The Toyota NHTSA filing describes machining debris lodging against the number 1 main bearing. They built the engines too fast. Debris got left inside. With no forgiveness gap, that debris destroys the bearing. A piece of metal smaller than a grain of sand inside a brand new engine, like sand in a wristwatch. The watch keeps ticking until one day it does not. The Toyota badge does not protect you. If Toyota can build this, anybody can. 2 survivors that actually last. After all of that, you are probably ready to swear off turbocharged engines forever. Do not, because two of them actually got it right. Survivor number 1, the BMW B58 3.0-liter inline-6 turbo in the 3 Series, 5 Series, X3, X5, also under the hood of the Toyota GR Supra. BMW makes it, not Toyota. Virtually zero recalls. Almost no NHTSA complaints. Consumer Reports ranks it as one of the most reliable turbos on the market. BMW did not cut the metal down to nothing. They left a forgiveness gap. Honest caveat, parts and servicing cost more than a Honda, but the engine itself is genuinely proven. Survivor number 2, the Honda 1.5-liter VTEC Turbo in the Civic and the CR-V under $30,000 brand new, known issue. In cold climates, some 2016 through 2018, Civic and CR-V owners reported fuel mixing into the oil during short cold drives. Honda fixed it with software updates. Handled on 2019 and newer. In Texas, Florida, Arizona, California, non-issue. If you are somewhere cold, buy 2019 or newer. The Honda 1.5 Turbo in those years is the best value turbo in an affordable car right now. How to make yours last. You cannot change what the manufacturers built, but you can stack the odds in your favor. First, cut your oil interval in half. Manual says 7,500 miles, you do 4,000. Old oil is sludge in your veins. $60 extra a year versus a $15,000 engine is not a close call. Second, stick to the oil weight in your manual. These engines have pressure restrictors calibrated for a specific viscosity. Go thicker, you throw the system out of spec. Third, kill auto stop start every time you drive. Every restart drops oil pressure to 0. With a compliance engine, every restart is an insult to your bearings. If it resets every cycle, an OBD2 module kills it permanently for $50. Fourth, watch your tire pressure. Underinflated tires force the engine to work harder. An ePauto digital gauge for $10 gets accurate readings. Link in the description. Cheapest insurance for a turbo. Fifth, if you are buying used, avoid the 2021 through 2024 model years. COVID broke the factories. Those engines are hitting their failure point right now. Do those 5 things and you buy yourself years of bearing life on an engine never designed to give it to you. So back to the question you actually clicked for. Will modern turbo engines ever last like the old ones did? The honest answer is no. The bulletproof era is gone. The compliance engine is what we live with now. But you can make yours last if you treat it like the high-stress race motor it actually is, and not the bulletproof V8 it pretends to be. If you got even one thing out of this video, hit that like button. If you are new, subscribe. We cover what dealers and manufacturers do not want you knowing every single week. And drop your engine in the comments. Turbo or naturally aspirated, year, mileage. Tell me if it is still kicking or if it died young. I read everyone. See you in the next.